So here we have the world's craziest bug. I'm going about 50, 60, and look at that thing hanging on. Crazy. Oh, hang on there, little bug. I'll pull over in a little and you can get off. Dang. For that size bug, 60 miles an hour is probably like, I don't know, 200 miles an hour for us or something. Oh, hang on, bug, hang on. It's growing weary. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yep, live in the car. There's no joke. Oh, we're coming to a red light. Fly away.
Okay. Anyway, so the fact is that you
are. So here we go.
Whenever you feel yourself a little bit down, just say, hey, I like myself. You take control of your mental life by putting your hands on the wheel and say, well, I like myself. Failure is only feedback. Learn from every experience. Get up, get going. Okay, it's just important to get this. Now, the next question. How many people are self-employed? Well, what is the answer to that question? We all are. The worst mistake you can ever make in your whole life is ever think you work for anyone else but yourself.
Crazy bug, crazy bug.
To be self-employed, to be unemployable. Right? Where you just simply can't work for anybody else. You can only work for yourself. And it's interesting, it's the attitude. Chris was talking about attitude. It's the attitude that separates the winners from the non-winners. It's top people, and according to the studies, the top 3% of adults see themselves as self-employed, even if they work for another company, even if someone else signs their paycheck all their life.
Refocus. That's right, bud. Be tough.
And I have thought about this over and over again, and one of the great turning points in my life was that I was responsible for everything that happened in charge. I was self-employed. And the acceptance of total responsibility is one of the great scary thoughts, one of the great liberating thoughts of life. And so I found that really high performers, all leaders, all men and women of great accomplishment, men and women of strength and character, men and women who accomplish great things, are people highly self-responsible. It is the key to success. I'll come back to this a little bit later. So here are the words that you use. The words are, I am responsible. Say it. I am responsible. Try it again. I am responsible. I like myself. And I'm responsible. Those are the keys to success. As long as you hold on to those, when every other problem or difficulty of any kind, you go back to that. I like myself and I'm responsible. If there's something in my life that's not working, then by gum, it's up to me to change it. I'm not going to sit here and wipe, moan and cry, and weep and moan and blame other people. I just get busy and do something about it. All of the successful people are take charge people. And these are really, really important in terms of becoming a millionaire. Can you imagine a milquetoast millionaire? A person who does not accept responsibility with low self-esteem? No. You've got to have a person who really likes himself and who really feels in charge of their own life. One last question. What is the most important part of this weekend? You're right. It's what you do afterwards.
Passengers there.
It's not what we learn. It's not the pleasure that we have. It's not the interaction. It's what you do afterwards. Now, I've learned a very interesting point, and this has been borne out in 50 years of study. The most identifiable quality of successful people is that they're intensely action-oriented. They're moving fast. In action. They hear a good idea. They move quickly. They don't sit there and think about it. They sit there and think about it.
Go back to your position, bud. Come on.
So you'll find that the most important part of today is what you do afterwards.
Got caught off guard a little there.
Let me ask you a question. If you take action on any item, any idea, only two things can happen. What are they?
Crazy. This bug's gonna travel from my house to the post office. It's about 3-4 miles.
If it doesn't work, what do you do?
4 or 5 miles. So
this
bug's in another world.
But you cannot lose from taking action. You can only lose from not taking action. And when I spoke many years ago to one of the richest men in the world, he's now worth about $5.4 billion. And at that time, he was just building his company. His company was just growing. He said, you know, they found in their company that people who hear a new idea and take action quickly will succeed. He said, but people who hear a new idea and don't take action immediately will probably not take action on that idea at all and won't take action on anything else either. The one thing they've identified in successful people is that they're all intensely action-oriented. So always think in terms of what action do I take? What do I do now? Somebody comes to you with a problem. They say, I've got this problem. Wham. I say, good. What are you going to do about it? What's your next step? What's your next action step? How are we going to solve the problem? In other words, keep helping people think in terms of the action.
How are you going to solve this problem, little bud?
To achieve their goals or resolve their problems. And you lead by example. As Albert Schweitzer said many years ago, he said, you must teach men at the school of example, for they will learn at no other. So the most important thing that you do for your friends and for your family is be an action-oriented person. Be a high self-esteem, high responsibility, action-oriented person. Those are the three qualities for financial success. Probably the three qualities for all kinds of success. Does it make sense so far? Say yes. Okay. Now, let me just go back quickly to my own story. I did not have an auspicious beginning. I grew up in a family that had no money. Our favorite theme song in our family was "We Can't Afford It, We Can't Afford It, We Can't Afford It, We Can't Afford It." In every tune in bars, anybody growing up in a family, that was your theme song, "We Can't Afford It." And I'm still now, even at my age, I still go and I look at the time, I say, "You can't afford it." When you can't afford it, it's a newspaper, for Christ's sake. I'll read somebody else's, you know? I mean, it costs 50 cents. Anyway. My friend Susie Orman said this. She said one of the most important things in becoming wealthy is to deal with your goblins with regard to money. Almost all of us have goblins with regard to money. Fears, emotions, we're back into our early childhood, the way our parents responded to money, what happened with money, did we not have very much, did we lose it, were our parents hurt financially, so we grow up.
We'll let this go by.
And in order to become financially independent, you have to get over those fears. You have to first of all identify what they are. What is the number one fear with regard to money? Yeah, fear of poverty. We're afraid of being poor. We're afraid of not having any money. We're afraid of being destitute or dependent upon someone else. Now, it's not likely to happen, but nonetheless, that fear, which is an irrational fear, often holds us back from taking chances. And it's just something you have to identify. And I learned many years ago that if you have the fear of poverty,
so go ahead, Tacoma.
The flip side of the fear of poverty.
Man,
what's the virtue
you need an invitation.
What's the good part of being afraid of not having money? What's the good part? Yeah, you work harder to get more money. You work harder and you're smarter in holding on to the money. You build up a financial estate. So starting off poor, as I said before, can often be a very good thing because it makes you very smart about making money and holding on to it. So in other words, when you talk about money like that, you bring it to the surface of your mind and you become free from the fears that are involved. There's no extra charge for that. Okay, so I started off with no money. I did not graduate from high school. I finished in the half of the class that makes the top half possible. They say that everybody serves some purpose, even if it's to be a bad example, and I was the bad example. The teachers would point to me and say, if you don't smart up, you'll end up like him. And that would scare people, like the boogeyman under the bed. I mean, scare kids into doing their assignments. I had a chance to go to several schools when I was growing up because I kept getting thrown out of them. Suspended, expelled, rejected, suspended, expelled, rejected, and finally I left school and I got a job, a laboring job. I was told, by the way, that if you don't get a good education, get good grades, you won't do well in school. If you don't get good grades and do well in school, you won't get a good job, you won't go to college, you won't have a good life. So I've been told this all my life. You know, they tell you that to tell kids that to scare them. So you grow up and they tell I didn't get very good grades in school. And by the way, remember I told you about the research that we did on you? Yes, we found some other interesting things. We found there are people in this very room who did not get good grades in school. Yes, and we know who you are. We were amazed at how many of you there are. It's astonishing. Anyway, here's what I learned later in life.
So moral of the story, hang on with dear life, or to dear life, because it gets better after it feels bad. Here, little bud. It's okay. There you go. Look at that. Can't even notice it. There she is. So hang on to dear life, because then you're set to have a new habitat.